Hello, my name's Cathy PEARSON and I'm the project manager for SCIC's new flagship project, the Knowledge Centre on Interpretation. You may have seen some of our promotional videos on Twitter or Facebook, but I would like to tell you a little bit more about this project. First of all, what is it? Well, it's a website, it's a platform which brings together or aims to bring together interpreters from around the world. But not just interpreters, also researchers, representatives of industry, trainers, students, all sorts of different people. Conference interpreters, yes, but also other types of interpreters. So interpreters who work in hospitals, in schools, in courts, for the police, for asylum seekers. We would like all of our interpreters, who are all family, to come into the fold and to be part of the Knowledge Centre on Interpretation. So it's a platform that has a lot of content in terms of conference interpreting and other types of interpreting. You can find, for example, on there all sorts of training resources. If you're a trainer or a student, you can find out what interpreting is all about if you don't know anything about interpreting. But there's also much more detailed resources for people who are already interpreters, for example, terminology resources or background reading, journals, and so on and so forth. So there's an awful lot of content which will constantly be updated as well by us, but also by our users. And that's what makes this platform very innovative, because it's also a collaborative platform. It's not just static content and information that we're giving, not at all. In fact, the main aim of the Knowledge Centre is to share information. So we share with you, but you share with us. You have a lot of know-how in your field of expertise, whatever it might be, and we would like to receive contributions. We want to learn from you as well, and so it should be a place where people can learn from each other and learn together about all the many facets of all the different types of interpreting. So why have we set this project up? Our core business, after all, is conference interpreting and conference interpreter training. But for all the other types of interpreting, and with recent the refugee crisis, migration issues, those other types of interpreting are really becoming more and more prominent. There's more and more interpreting necessary as people move around more for all sorts of reasons. Sometimes because they are asylum seekers fleeing from war, but there might be all sorts of other reasons. They might just have moved to another country and need help before they manage to learn the language of the country. So it was also a way of making a very small contribution, but a contribution nonetheless, to the Commission's political priorities to try and help migrants and do our little bit. So it really is for everybody, everybody and anybody who has an interest in interpreting, from whichever perspective you might be taking it. So we would like it to be as open as possible. Now, as I said, it's a collaborative platform, so there's the more static part that has the content, but that can be added to by the users. It would have to pass through the editorial team, which is me and the people working with me on the project. And then we can put the content that you generate on our site as user-generated content. But there's also collaborative spaces where you can set up a community to bring together people to talk about the one thing you're particularly interested in, or in something that's particularly happening in your country. At the moment, the site's in English, but it will move to a completely multilingual version during the course of next year. When I say completely multilingual, I am, of course, referring to the European Union official languages. I'm afraid we couldn't hope to cover all languages. That would be far too ambitious. But already now, you can set up a community in one of the European Union official languages to talk about something in particular. We live in a virtual, globalized world, and this is a way of bringing people together virtually, yes, but in communities to really talk about, discuss and work on issues that are of interest to us and to the general world of interpreting. So those communities, you can set them up yourselves. Obviously, we as the editorial team moderate them to some extent, but they're much freer, and the forums as well. So there's really space for you to express freely what you want. There's also news and events, so any events that are happening in your region, in your area, or any news that you might have, you can send that in to us and we will publish it. So all you need to do is go to the Knowledge Centre website. It's ec.europa.eu/SCIC, SCIC, -KCI for the Knowledge Centre on Interpretation. So do join us, sign up, and we'll look forward to seeing you there.